DC. One of the Real Housewives of DC who was diagnosed with MS is actually walking in your collection. How do you feel about that?
Well, listen, anyone who was diagnosed with MS, I feel bad for. And I would only hope for the best for them. I hope that we would raise enough money tonight to help fund some more research to eventually find a cure.
And if you found out that that Real Housewife was Michaele Salahi, who was one of the alleged White House crashers, would that change your opinion?
I've never met any of them, and I don't know really much about them. The New York Housewives are probably a story in and of themselves, but I don't know much about the Washington Housewives.
I love Tommy Hilfiger. Yes, and he's done so much to help people with multiple sclerosis, so thank you.
You mentioned that MS has touched your life, but this is something that you kept to yourself until it was kind of, forced to be shared.
Right.
Why did you want to keep that? Why did you want to keep it to yourself?
I was working for a great deal of my life, and I saw people lose their jobs, to be honest, for less. And I remember overseeing different areas of work, and people would lose it, their position, and say, oh, well, we have to find a way to phase them out. So I thought, you know what, I'm never going to let anyone know. I'm going to live and die. And my family, obviously the person I married, the person I love, my husband, I had to tell. And I took him to a church to tell him, our church. But because it affects other people's lives too, so you have to, I began to realize I'm going to deal with it the best I can and never share it. And then the press and what kind of took over, a lot of people were saying I was anorexic. So I said, you know what, I'm getting a jump out ahead of the media. I'm going to tell them, no, I'm not anorexic. Yes, I do have a health concern. I have something similar that's hard to deal with, but I'm going to make a difference. Instead of taking something that I was kind of like, oh gosh, I got to tell it. You know what, yeah, I've got to tell it, and I'm doing well, and it's 17 years later. I don't know what the future holds, but right now I'm going to reach out around the world and make a difference.
Michaele cherishes every day of life. That's something that, and a lot of the ladies on The Real Housewives pick on her because of that. Why do you say, oh, I love you, I love you,
Why do you laugh all the time, they ask me?
She wakes up every day, and when she can get out of bed and move her legs and her feet, she loves the day, and she's in love with life.
Right.
And that's what's special about Michaele. She recognizes and treasures life.
Right.
The other ladies, frankly, don't get it. They don't understand. And shame on them for making fun of anyone who has MS or any illness.
Right. Because what's important is getting up, having laughter, and being able to walk across your room. Right. That's what I'm happy. There was a period where I couldn't actually make it out of bed. And my mom's like, you'll see, miss. You can't give up. You're going to do it. So to anybody out there who's dealing with whatever that they're dealing with in their life, health, family pain, anything, you can get through it. You got to stick strong and find someone to give you a hug once in a while, or call me. I'll give you a hug.